Yes. Well, all right. Here we are. About ready to get this thing started here. And we're going to do chicken right. Is there anybody out there running a test stream tonight? Trying to make sure I got all the bugs worked out. We're having a little, well, it's supposed to be an ice storm coming in my area here. I live in southern Indiana, southwestern Indiana, and we're supposed to be having a big ice storm and everything. And they're talking about it could be power outages and all of this stuff, but we've heard them things before. So kind of take them with a grain of salt, but they seem to be pretty adamant about this one. So I thought it'd be a good time for me to go ahead and try to do a test broadcast or test stream to kind of see if I can't get these bugs worked out. This is something new to me. I haven't been doing this. I've made videos, but haven't gotten into streaming until recently. So haven't had a whole lot of feedback. And I'm trying to get everything worked out so I can put out a good quality stream that everyone can enjoy. So, therefore, if you could give, oh, there we go, Dr. Fresh. Hey, what's going on? Shout out to Dr. Fresh, Joe Mack. Can you guys hear me okay? Great, outstanding, outstanding. Hey, I am, like I said, new to all of this, but I got some exciting things in mind. I want to have my stream to be a little bit different. I want it to be just talk, commentary, plus a little bit of an entertainment factor too. So, you know, everybody can get a kick out of it, and whether you're participating or not, and that's what I like. I do have a call, a number set up, a call-in number, and I'd like to know if that is working right with the software that I have engaged. So if any of you guys could, if you got anything that you want to talk about, or any questions you want to ask me about, you know, being a black conservative, which, you know, I've been one ever since Reagan. So I was back there in the beginning, and, you know, it's been tough slogging, and it's still slogging now, but quite a few more blacks have gotten their eyes open since when I first was, you know, voting with for George Bush and all that. And you can imagine what family gatherings were like with me there then, as opposed to now. It's bad enough now, but it was even worse then. Um, but anyhow, if you guys would like to try to call a number so I can see how that works, to make sure that uh, I'll be able to use that and make a good product for the stream. And if not, if you guys got a comment or something you want to throw in the chat box, that too, I'll try and answer it. This is, like I said, it's all new to me. So, I'm juggling a bunch of things, and it's just like anything else. Practice makes perfect. So, by the way, that number is 812-205-2704. And if for some reason that you don't get through or not get an answer or something, let me know so I can make sure that I've got everything situated properly. Let's see here. Kind of move some of this stuff over here. It's amazing when you're doing this and you're one-man band, you got all of these different windows that you have to keep going here. Okay. You guys can still hear me okay? Okay, wait a minute. Volume is kind of low. Volume is kind of low. For some reason, my chat box seems to be a little bit cut off. Oh, okay, there you go. Okay, how's that for volume? Is that better? Is that better? How's my volume now? Okay, how about there? Does that sound okay? Or is that too loud? Okay, I'll just talk a little bit here so that you can kind of give me some feedback. On my end here, it seems to be pretty hot, so that's why I'm counting on you guys to give me some feedback so I can have an idea where I need to have my settings at so that you guys can understand everything and I'm not distorted or too low and not being heard. So that really, okay, you say yes. Is that too loud or okay? Hello, caller 215. You're on the line. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm good. My name's Joe Mack. I'm one of the ones who wrote on your board before you started.
All right.
Beginning from the very beginning. Well, I just started watching you recently because of some of the other black conservatives that I've been watching.
Right.
And I really don't understand where the American people are thinking right now. I just watched a video with Nancy Pelosi claiming that the GOP tax plan is going to hurt the American people. I don't understand that. And as far as I can see lately, it looks like our governors that are Democrat are trying to tax more things that we buy in that state. And the cities that we live in with the Democratic mayors are going to start taxing more stuff that we get back from the federal government. And it's just unbelievable how these people don't think that what the GOP did for our tax cuts is outstanding.
Well,
and I'd like to see what your thoughts are.
Okay. First of all, the problem is that the Democrat Party has been taken over by the leftists. And so, therefore, their only agenda is to stay in the power and to obstruct Trump. That's all they want to do. It doesn't matter what he does. It's going to be something wrong with it. It's the worst thing. The sky is falling. Everything's going to implode. It does not matter what he does. The thing is, their job is to resist Trump. It's all about socialism. Democrat socialism, that's what they call themselves. Bernie Sanders calls himself that, a Democrat socialist, which was the same thing that Saul Alinsky called himself, Obama and Hillary Clinton's mentors. This thing has been something that has been in the offing for years. They've been working on this, and they have set it up. They all went into academia. I'm trying to think of the one guy. He was with the weathermen that actually were terrorists, and they were blowing up and killing cops. And he's now heading universities, and they're teaching all of this propaganda to these kids about all the evils of capitalism. And so what we really have now is a party that's not even American. They're there to try to overthrow this government or to usurp all the things that we've already known and done and been doing, and to change them over to socialist / communist principles. And you see it. Their attack is threefold. It's through the media, it's through Hollywood, and it's through academia. And you see it. Every day you see the people in the schools, the brainwashing of the kids. It makes no sense. When you have people that tell you that because you don't agree with them, they consider that a physical assault, and they should by any means be able to do whatever to you to stop you. That's the kind of mindset and the ideology these people have. You can't reason with them. You could give them fact after fact after fact. They're brainwashed. And so people like Pelosi, it's the same way. You can't, there's nothing you can put your finger on with these people except for they're rallying the troops and getting rich the whole time they're doing it. They don't care about poor people. Maxine Waters, all the rest of them, they do not care about poor people. But you know what? They prey on poor people, and especially blacks, because blacks are emotional people. They have been weaponized. And what they do is they manipulate black people and tell them what they want to hear. And then they rub salt into the wounds of things that they may have legitimate beef about, and they stir them up, and then they use them as weapons. And that's something that Saul Alinsky said in this book, Rules for Radicals. He said that was one of the things that they needed to do, was to find minorities that had a beef and then rub salt into their wounds and then turn them against the government. And then you see this, all this NFL stuff, the kneeling against the national anthem, and all of this ridiculous stuff. But no one's talking about all the killing. You know, the greatest problem in the black community is black people, not police, not the Ku Klux Klan, not white people. It's black people who are killing black people more than anybody. But no one will talk about that. So it's insanity. And, you know, that's one reason I created this channel. It's inverted reality. That's exactly what it is.
One way I kind of see it, too, is maybe that our society has left God out of schools, Pledge Allegiance out of schools.
Yes.
And our kids are not learning the things. I'm 62 years old. Mm-hmm. I'm a Vietnam vet, and I see the disrespect that's going on in this country.
Yes.
And I respect our history. Granted, it may not be great. I protested the Vietnam War. Mm-hmm. I also joined during Vietnam. I wasn't afraid to go and fight for this country. But it seems like the way we're going now, we're going to lose this country.
Exactly.
We have young people. We have young people who will not join the military, even though I'm glad some of my relatives have joined. At least I know I have somebody on my side. But on the majority, like you said, these people are teaching our kids their way of socialism, and we're letting them get away with it.
Yeah.
And if you make a stink about it, you're a racist, you're a phobic, you're this, you're that.
That's right.
And you know what? And
that's the whole thing.
Sick of it.
Well, we're all sick of it. But you know what? We're conservatives by nature, and that's our problem. We've been conservative, and we've let them take all of this ground. And now you've got all of these different groups. It's identity politics. That's another communist tactic, a ploy, is to divide everybody against everybody. And see, that way you have no unity. So you don't have any nationalism. Now, you know, you're a Nazi if you're proud of your American flag. And like me, I'm like you. I'm a former Marine. You know, I came in right after Vietnam. I did my time. I got out honorably. You know, I would have died for this country if I had to. In fact, I got close to running into some things that we weren't supposed to talk about while I was in there. But see, these people, they don't understand that these kids, they're being indoctrinated by these teachers. And now they're going all the way down to grade school now. That's why we're really in trouble, because you got grade school. I've seen videos of grade school kids who will not stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. They're being taught this. That's what I said. They came in and they infiltrated academia. They know we want to get the kids, and we want to start sprinkling this ideology to them while they're young. And that way they'll already be converted by the time they get grown. Teenagers, they're already thinking that way. And it's sad, but I'm like you. We don't have very much time. And the way it's going, when we have a media that's totally controlled the same way, and Fox is about the only thing that's halfway decent, and they have their share of stuff that's, you know, they know how far to go too, but at least there's another side. But it's really, really sad, the state of this country and where we're heading. And these kids have no idea. They want socialism and communism, but nobody has bothered to show them the end result of all these other countries that switched over. Just look at Venezuela. We got an example just right south of us. It was one of the richest countries in the Western Hemisphere. Now they've eaten up the zoo animals. They have nothing. Nothing. But these kids think that, you know, when communism comes in, that they're going to still have their $600 iPhones and still have a choice of all these things and great things. No, capitalism provides that, not communism.
That's what I was thinking too.
You know, communism does not provide that. You know, you get a beat up Volkswagen if you get that. And you don't have a selection of Cadillacs and you know, all these different cars. No.
Just look at Cuba.
Exactly. Look at them. They're still, they got like 1946 Chevys and stuff, you know. I mean.
Yeah, but they're not real Chevys any longer.
No. That's why I say
you know,
it's so.
I just got the book.
Huh?
I said, I was just going to tell you, I said, my wife just bought me the book, Let Trump Be Trump.
Uh-huh.
I haven't started reading it yet, but I can't wait till I start reading it. She started reading it before even though she's not a pro-Trumper, but she's not a negative Trumper.
Right.
I am registered Democrat. Know why? So I can vote the Democrats the hell out. I'm sorry, I cursed, but to get them out of office. That's why I'm a Democrat. So when I go to the polls, I don't vote. I vote for the least Democrat that can make the office.
I see what you're saying.
And then when I go back to the office, when I go back to vote again, I vote Republican. That's the only way we can get these people out. And I wish people would think that way because I was a Philadelphia fireman. Mm-hmm. We had a man named Ed Rendell. He really screwed us over. He took Veterans Day away from us. Mm. He took a lot of things away from us. And he got away with it. So what I decided to do, I started telling my other fellow firefighters, start registering Democrat, not Republican, and start voting these guys out. Mm. And that's what I've been doing for the last 10 years.
Well, I'll tell you what, that we need everything we can get because they're cheating and bringing in illegals. And that's what this DACA's about. They don't care anything about these children. It's all about getting the voter base. I mean, the Democrats did that when they brought the gays in and everything else. It was all about a voting base. And they've had the black people for so long that now, you know, I'd say that, you know, the Mexicans are the new Negroes. You know, they don't care about them. They throw them under the bus now, you know, us black people, because, you know, 90+% of us, they knew they're going to get the vote anyway, even though for 60, 80 years, they've gotten nothing from them, but, you know, a bunch of talk. And so, hey, that's the way it goes. But, hey, I appreciate your call, and feel free to call back again.
I'm glad I talked to you. I'm glad I could talk to a few of you guys that are on YouTube right now. Mm-hmm. I'm just glad they're not censoring you just yet.
Yeah. And that's exactly, this is the thing, is to try to get out here and get it going as fast as you can before it happens. And hopefully some other platforms will be created that we'll be able to go to, because Twitter and all the rest of them is getting outrageous.
Even Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
But guarantee you, you're on my wake-up list. You come on the air, I will be here to see you.
All right, I appreciate you.
All right, peace. May God bless you.
God bless you too. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, what's up? Flo. This is Ray from Brooklyn, New York.
From Brooklyn, all right. How you doing, Ray?
I'm doing good. I'm just calling because I heard about you first through ABL. Once I heard this guy and I heard the things you were saying and the way you speak and the topics, I'm like, oh, I gotta listen to this guy because he knows what he's talking about, and he's an older guy who can teach the younger guys like me something, you know. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, I have to hear what this guy had to say. So since then, I started following you, and I just wanted to bring up some topics that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Well, basically, like what you were saying about these teachers and these kids and these leftists. Honestly, I think this stuff is being done on purpose. I think us assuming that these people don't know what they're doing. Like, yeah, you have some of them who are dumb, but us assuming that these people don't, I think it's a planned destruction of America. If you listen to Alex Jones, I think this is
there's no doubt about it. It's not that they don't know. They know exactly what they're doing. You're right. It's planned.
Especially the higher up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally think this is a planned destruction of America, and this has been planned under the radar for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these kids, they're useful idiots. They are useful idiots just going along with this agenda. And like you said, they don't understand this is gonna destroy us, and they're not gonna get the life they want.
Right.
I mean, I guess they have a hate for capitalism because they kind of feel like a lot of black people in America, and like I never felt like this as a child, and you know what happens to black. I wouldn't consider myself a conservative as far as political, but it's just about common sense. Like, what do you want for yourself, your future, and your country? It's for me, it's not really about what side you're on. It's about common sense and the betterment of America. You know?
Right. Well, I mean, the Democrats used to be that way. I mean, the old school Democrats that my parents were like, it wasn't that big of a difference between them and the Republicans. You know, a few issues here and there, but most people still had respect. They respect the family. You know, everybody wanted, but now it's craziness. You know, you've got to accept all of these 50 million genders and all of this stuff, or you're racist. Everything is insane now coming from the Democrat side, and they are losing people.
I think the problem with us I wouldn't consider, the problem with the conservatives and the right is the Democrats, they're organized and they're aggressive, right? And I think we on our side, we need to be more organized and aggressive, because when they come at us, they kick us out of our jobs, how to feed your family, they attack that. I mean, and that's nothing to laugh at, you know? And they are, you know, that's one thing I'll give them credit for, is they are organized, they're goal-oriented, and they're aggressive. And I think on our side, we're a little bit too passive, and they just running around, just getting away with these things. Like, when you see what's going on, like, just because someone said something you disagree with, you take away their livelihood and their family.
Yes.
Like, that's just outrageous to me. And it's like, I think we need to be more aggressive. In the same way they boycott our establishments for stuff, we need to boycott their stuff. We need to go, okay, if you guys are gonna behave like that, fine, then we're gonna do the same thing. When Facebook and Twitter and they start censoring our opinions, we need to go back hard on them too. Like the NFL, I used to play football. I used to play semi-professional football.
Mm-hmm.
I love the NFL.
Me too.
You know, I love football. But you do not come before my country. I'm not stupid.
Exactly.
I know what's important in life, and that is you do not come before my country. And if you disrespect it, I don't care how much I love you, I will not watch you. You understand? Yep. And that's just how I feel. And it's like this is the level of it's like, even if you was a bad person, and it's something I think about all the time. Even if you was bad, you didn't want to work, you didn't want to do anything. Why kill the goose that lays the golden eggs? You know, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, see, it's social engineering. It does not make any sense to a normal, rational individual. These people aren't normal, rational individuals. They have been social engineered. Just like, for instance, how blacks are social engineered to hate Trump. Now, here's a man that's done nothing against us. Right now, black unemployment is at a 17-year low. I mean, jobs are opening up. All kinds of things are happening. Black people need to take advantage of this. Instead, they would rather have Barack Obama back in when there were no jobs, or Hillary or Bill Clinton in, you know, who they called us and said all kinds of things and put in places. I mean, 3 strikes and you're out, and locked up all kinds of people. Hillary was getting money from the prison lobby all the way through her campaign in the beginning until she got caught. And then she said, well, I'm going to donate this last check to the women who are getting released. But she was taking money from the same lobby that was helping to lock up more black people for the cheap drugs. I mean, but you know what? She walk into a black church and they'd sit there and just slobber and drool all over me. I wouldn't even let her in my church if I was a pastor. And if I did, we'd have to come in there and cleanse the temple because that woman is evil. But see, it's like Stockholm syndrome. You know,
exactly.
When you start loving your captors and your abusers. And that's what's going on. That's why it's called social engineering. These black people, you know, if you look back into the 40s and 50s, black people had all kinds of businesses and everything. And I saw this stuff coming. I mean, I wasn't born in the 50s, but I was born in 62, in January of 62. In fact, I'll be 56 next week, excuse me. But I saw these things coming up in my own city. There were black businesses just for blocks, doctors, pool halls, grocery stores, gas stations. You know what we have now?
The black community?
Nothing. A few barber shops and some chicken places. You know,
not even. But all the barber shops and chicken places around here are owned by the stores, the grocery stores, owned by Arabs. In Brooklyn, New York, where Arabs and Hispanics, no blacks, only saw one black lady who was working in the grocery store, but it's Arabs and Hispanics who own all the grocery stores.
We even have an area here that I don't say it, but they call it that. They call it the Gaza Strip because all the Palestinian stores and gas stations and stuff that they have. They call it the Gaza Strip.
And you know what? Something I want to talk about. The black community, because this is something as a child I never knew, and what I'm trying to say is that growing up, I didn't hate America. You know, I have a feeling a lot of the black community, they hate America. They feel like, especially these young kids. I can't speak for all the older generation, but these young kids and a lot of these blacks around my age. I'm 26, so a lot of these blacks, they have like this hatred of America. And as a kid, you see this, but you think, oh, they're doing it to be cool. They're doing it so they can fit in the in crowd. Those are not their real opinions. Probably if you caught them alone, they wouldn't really feel that way. But they actually have this hatred of America, and they feel like America is not for them. And I did not understand this as a child, but this election has shown me a lot about people, you know.
Well, the problem is it's not America's not for them. They're not for America. That's what the problem is because, you know, let me explain something to you. I'm going to tell you this real quick. ABL did a thing a little while back, and he was talking about this university that they had this black group on this university that they were supposed to be all black this and all black that, right? But the problem was when they brought in the people from the Caribbean and the Africans in, these people wasn't buying into the Black Lives Matter stuff, and they were busting their butt and they were excelling, you know. And then so the American blacks got mad and said, don't let any more of these people in. Now, they were supposed to be all about blackness, but see, these other people were coming in, and some of them with limited English and everything and still out excelling them. You know why? Because the American blacks were sitting about worrying about how we're going to protest and how we're going to demand this and how we're going to ask for this and get people to give us stuff. These people came here and said, this is opportunity. We're going to work. And they put their nose to the grindstone, went to work and made things happen. And that is the problem, is that blacks feel that white people owe them something. They don't owe nobody anything. I've got all kinds of white friends. I know white people that have struggled almost all their lives. For black people to sit there and talk about white privilege and to talk about reparations. What about all the white people who came to America after slavery? How you going to distinguish who to get money from? And you got nuts running around talking about give up your houses, give up your cars. For what? Are you kidding me?
This is why, to me, and honestly, in the end, I don't think the leftists will win. And you know why I say this? Because they don't, like, at least in the black household, homosexuality is not, like, they don't, like, I don't know the proper word I'm looking for. They can't all, like, Islam and feminism, that doesn't work. African Americans and homosexuality. In an African American household, I don't know about yours, but I know in mine, homosexuality and in most other houses is not something that's looked upon and celebrated, you know?
No, not at all.
So this is why I don't understand. The left strategy is, I think in the long run, I don't think they're going to win because they don't have a winning strategy.
But see, that's their thing. They want to grab all of these people like that and make a coalition. They don't care. You mentioned the term earlier that Vladimir Lenin, useful idiots. They're using all of these useful idiots and hoping that they can get in power. But once they get in power, they're going to get rid of the useful idiots. That's what they've done over and over. Look at your history books. You'll see it happen every time. And these people don't get it. They think they're going to have a seat at the table. These black communists and everything. They're not going to have a seat at the table. You're going to be at the back of the bus just like you was in the beginning. So please, don't even try that. The best thing to do is to be an upright citizen, pay your taxes, be law-abiding, work hard, and you got a good chance of being successful in this country. These people, most of their problems begin right here in their brain, in their mind. That's where the problem is. You know, you're not being oppressed. You're oppressing yourselves. That's exactly. It's ridiculous to sit there and talk about black oppression when we had a president for 8 years and all these black people in his administration. We've got black talk show hosts, black surgeons, black CEOs, black movie stars, people on TV all day long.
Even that long ago, we're still elevating from that point. We're still growing. You can't expect us to just be on top of the world. We're still, how long? Jim Crow was what, 1960s?
Let me tell you something. But see, at the same time, they want to stay Democrat, but Jim Crow, where did it come from? The Democrats. Everything that they're fighting against, they want to point it toward the Republicans, but it was the Democrats' policies. That's what's so sickening about the whole thing. But they stayed Democrat. You know, I'm like this, you know, get out there and get a job. I'm looking at all these different black guys that's getting locked up. Young guys, 15, 18, 19 years old here in my own town. And I'm like, what's so hard about getting a job, man?
I'm gonna be honest with you, as a black man, growing up with a lot of these knuckleheads who went to jail and stuff like that. I'm not saying the majority of them, I don't feel sorry for it. And you know why? Because I grew up in the same situations as you. I saw what you saw. I was in those projects. I was in those ghettos. I mean, you chose to do what you do. You chose to behave in the way you made a choice. Yep. And you know, you expect them to at least be, oh yeah, I messed up in my life. No, you blaming the white guy for your decisions now? It's like, at least be honorable and say, I effed up. It's time for me to move on.
No. See, that can't be it, because that is not the Democrat way. That is not the Jesse Jackson way. That is not the Al Sharpton way. We have got to blame, the blame has got to be on somebody else. We can't take a responsibility for our illegitimacy and babies born out of wedlock and the crime and the killings and the murders and everything. You talk to black people, I'm telling you, over and over, like I've almost gotten into fights in the barbershops with people. I said, listen here, I'm tired of you. I heard you on ABL say that. I heard you say that. Yeah, I mean, I'm tired of this. You know, come on, man. We're sitting here, people are shooting each other, breaking in each other's houses.
Exactly.
Like growing up. And
growing up, I was never scared of the cops. Growing up in my life, the last people I was afraid of getting $150 on my face, getting slashed by some Crip or some blood on a gang in the street. Those are the things I worried about going outside my house. Not no cop. That was the last thing that was on my mind. Some guy trying to rob me or something like that. That's what I was fearful of growing up.
Well, see, you know, when I came up, where I lived at, when I was younger, things wasn't nothing like they are now. But as I got older, I never really lived in the deteriorated areas. You know, I always stayed in at least a middle class mixed area, mostly white, pretty much my life. But I always went back. And, you know, I'm like right now, I was telling one of my friends today, and he and I were talking, and I'm saying, hey, you know, check this out. I said, you know, they run around this Black Lives Matter crap and all of this stuff, you know, while we're killing each other like flies. I said, in my town, I could pretty much go to any white neighborhood and not even feel threatened. But I said, there's neighborhoods right here where I can go in and they're black and I'm black. And I'm like, you know, I got my pistol real close because, see, I know, you know, you look at some of these so-called brothers, you know, you speak to somebody, how you doing? And they look at you like, what you talking to me for? You know, what are you even saying something to me for? You know, and it's just like common respect, man. I'm giving you a greeting, you know, and they look at you, man, and there's no life in their eyes, man. They look like they're the walking zombies or something, man. And I'm like, man, you know, so I just get the word now, man. I don't even say anything to these young guys, man. Hey, if they say something to me, they speak, I'll speak. But basically, I don't say anything. And I'm like, you know, I don't want no trouble. It's not going to be any trouble. But, you know, if you think you're going to jump on old dude, you're going to bite off more than you can chew real quick. Because I'm not going down like that. I'm not going to do it. You know, I believe in my Second Amendment, and I'm going to protect myself.
They need to get rid of that to have their plan in full circle. That's another thing that you clearly. Well, I think that battle, to be honest with you, I think that battle they are losing badly because. Well, you got to watch. You got to watch California and New York because those are usually the trendsetters for the country. And look what they're doing right now in California. They're sitting there making you go through all kind of hoops to even get bullets and get on a waiting list. I mean, come on, that is ridiculous, you know? But see, that's what they want because they know that there's too many of us with guns. And they know as long as we got all these guns and this ammo, it's going to be hard for them to take over. So they want to get rid of that, see, because once that resistance is gone, now we can just come on in and say, give it up. You know what's funny? As a kid, I always wondered, how come every time America has a war, we always go invade other countries? And you said it perfectly. When the Japanese bombed us at Pearl Harbor, they said there would be a gun behind every blade of grass. And now I know why when we go to war, it's always at other places because they don't want to invade us. They have to fight the population and the army. Yeah,
exactly. And see, here's the thing. People talk about, you know, our military would never do this. There was a poll taken a few years back, and they had said that 25% of our military said that they would. And I think over 50% said they wouldn't. And the other ones were kind of like undecided. But see, what they do in these cases, they don't use your military. They bring United Nations troops in.
With Chicago, what do you think about the United States?
Now you see there,
Chicago?
See, that's what I'm talking about. See how the Democrats do. Instead of them working with Trump, Trump was talking about Chicago from the beginning during his campaign. Instead of trying to work with him, no, we're going to go to the United Nations because you know what? The United Nations is against Trump's putting borders. They want open immigration. They want all of this stuff. So the Democrats are going to side with them, usurp our own government, and go to this body over here that's against guns and want to disarm us and everything and get them to come into Chicago.
And once they do that, that is treason for everybody to see. Open treason. and they need to be dealt with. In my opinion, I think they need to be dealt with by the fullest extent of the law. That is open treason. That is against what I find as foreign entities involved in our own personal business. These people are committing open treason, and it just shocks me how they can run around with impunity just like this. It's just crazy to me. I don't understand it.
Well, like you said, you know what? We need to get radical as conservatives, because if we don't, it's over. It's over, because they got our kids. They've got the schools. The airwaves is saturated with this stuff. Hollywood, the news. I mean, if we don't stand up, it's going to be over.
And you know what? They're trying to indoctrinate kids at an early age. In New York City, they have this thing called pre-K. I don't know the exact name, but it's like before pre-K. So now they're trying to get kids into schools younger and younger for the betterment. No, it's for indoctrination. Clearly,
that's right.
You know that's what it's about.
That's right.
It's about
and I'm sure you saw the thing with Michelle Obama's library and the transsexual thing with the kids and everything. I mean, that's all about grabbing these kids when they're really, really young and screwing them up. See, because it's an assault on the family, and it's assault on God, and it's assault on Christianity and the Bible. That's what it's all about. These people hate God. They hate God.
Like Alex Jones always says it. They want to be God. They want to take his creation and invert it and make it ugly, because they want to be God, but they can't. They will never be God. No.
And it's just like, I'm sorry to say it. I don't care how much lipstick you put on that pig. I don't care how many surgeries a man has and how big his boobs are and everything else. He's still a man. I don't care what he say. And I ain't calling him her. It's going to be a he, because that's what he is. He's just the man that's been augmented. That's it. Still a man. It's ridiculous, the stuff. Now you can't say he, you can't say she. You got all this. This is insanity. And no wonder why these kids are committing suicide and everything. They're so stressed out. Man, back when I was a teenager, man, we had so much fun, man. It was about living life and having fun and partying and hanging out. Now they're all stressed out, man. They don't know who to call what, or don't know if their girlfriend is a boy, or they don't know what's going on anymore, man. It's crazy.
I think a lot of this speech police stuff is a beta test for the future of how, like, for political dissidents, and when they start trying to roll in their tyranny, when you try to stand up, they'll go, oh, he's anti-Semitic. Oh, you can't say that. That's hate speech. We need to lock you up. I really think right now is just the beginning stages, just the beta test for what they really want, which is descent under their tyranny is what they really want to get you, because by all means they have to destroy America. They have to, exactly like how you see how they're trying to say, oh, George Washington was racist, because what they're going to do next is they're going to label the Constitution as racist. Oh, they were slave owners.
Wait a minute. Going to? They already have.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, yeah. The Constitution is racist. Everything is racist. I put out that one video that, said racist. Like I said, he's racist. She's racist. You're racist. Everybody's racist. It's ridiculous. And when real racism comes, it's not going to even mean anything anymore, because everybody's burned out hearing it. These people, don't even get me started, man. My blood is getting hot, because these people, I get so mad. I look at these articles online and everything, and I just say, when are we going to stop this madness? I keep feeling like I'm watching Twilight Zone, and I haven't, I went to sleep and I haven't woke up, because this stuff is crazy. It's insane. But see, we're arguing and worrying about pronouns and all of this stuff while we got chemtrails and the geoengineering in the skies. We're being poisoned. Everybody's being poisoned, but nobody's talking about that. We too busy talking about, well, he called me a she when today I felt like that I'm a he. What? Wait a minute. Where do you get this gender fluid stuff from? Oh, I'm gender fluid. In fact, I'll get up today. Well, I'm Bob today. I'm Barbara
they
tomorrow.
Have our eyes off the ball.
You know, and you know what? And you're a racist if you think that's insane. That's what
exactly. Or you're a coon. Or you're a coon or Uncle Tom.
Oh, no. You got the phobias. You got the phobias. You know. Yeah. If you don't agree with anything, you got the phobias. You're afraid of it. Homophobia. I'm not afraid of gay people. I'm not afraid of sodomites. I don't agree with their lifestyle, just like I don't agree with kleptomaniacs and thieves and burglars. You know, I don't have a phobia of them. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not going to go running when I see one. I don't agree with you. So why are you going to say I got a phobia? Huh?
You know what's the sad thing about blacks, and this is the thing I notice about my race, is the ones who are calling you coon, these Al Sharptons and these Tariq Nasheeds of the world, and these people like that, the race hucksters, the ones that call you coon are actually the real coons. They're the real coons. They're the ones who sold us out for massa. Yeah. They're the ones who sold out their people. Yet the people speaking common sense is labeled as coons and racist.
Well, that's what they do.
And race traitors.
Well, that's what they do. Ray, here's the bottom line. I learned this. I figured this out 2 years ago. Whatever they accuse you of doing, look at what they're doing. See, because that's what they do. They always go out in the front to cover up what they're doing by accusing you. But the difference is they have the media and everybody else on their side. So they keep saying it. And so all of it's projected onto you when they've been doing it all along. Just like, for instance, this thing with Russia and all of this. Well, who's got all the collusion? Hillary, Bill, Obama, and all of them have all their hands and feet are steeped in Russia. But the media's not talking about that. Over a year investigation of Trump, and they have found nothing, and they're still not stopping. You see what I'm saying? But they got the media on their side. You know, they just keep projecting it. And you know how the saying goes. You keep saying it enough, over and over, people believe it, no matter how outrageous it is. Just keep saying it over and over. It's the way it works.
I got two more things I want to bring up before I have to leave. So I know you probably have other guys who want to call.
Yeah.
One thing is about Trump and Trump playing 40 chess, which a lot of people say he is. I mean, I'm not so sure, but I kind of think about some of the moves he makes. Like for example, him being on Twitter. It just hit me the other day when I was thinking about Twitter censoring Trump, and I said, if Twitter censors Trump, Trump is going to go over to another platform. And it just hit me. I was like, oh, that's the plan, because it's like a catch-22. If Twitter was to censor Trump, then what he would do is he would go to a platform. And you know what everybody else is going to do? All those leftist haters who else, they give him hate mail on his comment section, and all his supporters, they're going to jump over to that platform. So I'm thinking to myself, what if Trump jumping on Twitter was a way for him to destroy them? Just the same way how he got the NFL. You see, the NFL's ratings almost done. Sometimes I look at Trump and I think he's playing chess, and he's thinking he's so much moves ahead of them.
He is. That dude is brilliant, and they're not giving him credit for any of it. And see, he's got them right now by the cojones, because if they try to shut him down, he wouldn't. If he left, all he'd have to do was just talk about
destroy the platform.
That's right. Once he put the word out on Twitter, they would never be the same again. Never be the same again. They are not going to mess with Trump's account. And believe me, that stupid one that worked for them that did that, I'm sure they were very mad that person shut Trump's account down before they left, because they did not want that. See, because right now, Trump is one of the reasons why Twitter has grown so much. And they don't want to kill the goose that's looting the gold, although they're censoring everybody else.
And they don't want to censor Trump. Right there. I think Trump is baiting them in to block him. Oh, it's smart. Like, when you think of some of the things he does, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
I think Trump is baiting them.
I mean, that dude, I'm telling you, It's amazing all the people that run around, the sloppy movie stars calling him an idiot and all of this stuff.
Right.
Well, you know what? You don't have businesses all around the world and have TV shows running for a decade and your name on skyscrapers and stuff all over the world, and your brand is worldwide, and you're an idiot. You don't get there by doing that. I mean, these people.
I think a lot of these movie stars and these Hollywood celebrities are highly compromised. I'm talking about child pedophilia rings.
Oh, they are.
And things of that nature.
They are.
And I think this is the reason why they're screaming out so hard against Trump, because I think a lot of them, when it comes out about the things they're involved in, are going to jail.
Well, but see, here's the thing. A lot of them were screaming out before Trump even. Trump didn't want to do this. Believe me, he knew. He didn't want to do it. But after Hillary and Obama kept hitting him, and he said, you know what? Because he didn't even want to do nothing to Hillary. He was willing to let that stuff go if they let sleeping dogs lie, but they didn't. So Trump ain't going to take too much now. You ain't going to hit him too many more times. And he just said, well, that's it. The gloves off. Now I'm coming off your pedophile rings, everything now. Now they all desperate because they know there's investigations and things going on in the background that nobody even knows anything about. A lot of people are going to get locked up if this stuff goes the way it's going, if it continues.
I'm telling you, in my personal opinion, I think there's so many celebrities that are highly, maybe, I don't know if you know much about the Illuminati and when they make blood pacts and stuff like that, and how you have to sell your soul, and a lot of them you have to do this. This is part of being in the club.
Right.
You know, I think some of the stuff we find out, I think Hollywood is going to be destroyed and absolutely broken. All right, and the last thing I wanted to talk about was leftist insanity. As far as an honor and having honor as a human being, you know, growing up playing football, at least just my character, even if I didn't like you, I would admit, okay, that person is a better player than me. Okay, that person, I don't like you, but I like your policy. And it's like with the left, it's like there's no honor, no honor whatsoever.
None. They don't have any honor. It's all about them and what they're trying to do. And like the one group that got the name By Any Means, that's their mantra. By any means possible. They don't care if it's illegal. They don't care if it's lying, cheating, stealing, whatever it takes. It justifies the means. And so there is no honor. These people are crazy. They are literally crazy.
Whatever happened to losing gracefully? Whatever happened to, okay, I take it like a man, I'll win next time. You understand?
No. See, that's the American democratic way. That's the way it used to be. These people here are not a part of that system. They're in another system. I tell you, if you can, in fact, I was going to do an article about this on my site. I'm actually going to do a small mini series on Saul Alinsky and his connection to Obama and Hillary and his mindset and everything. These people, they're all about control. And even if you give it to them, they don't want to take it. If you give it to them, they have to take it. That's their mindset. It has to be through violence and coercion. And nothing else matters except for that mission. They don't care. But it's all a big lie. It's all a big lie because just like when Hugo Chavez said when he took over in Venezuela, convinced those people to go for socialism and everything. And once he got in there, he hooked up with his cronies and they raped the country. They raped, pillaged, and plundered. And now they've eaten up all the zoo animals and everything. There's nothing left. I mean, it's worse than Haiti almost. And this was one of the richest countries in the Western Hemisphere besides us. So, there you go. I don't know what to say, but all we got to do, we cannot be silent. We got to keep hammering. Yeah. We got to keep hammering. I don't care if you make people mad, if you make your family member, you got to, maybe you can break through,
Exactly. on our side, everybody thinks it's like you have a lot of people who are on our side, but they don't want to speak out. And I'm telling people, now is the time to yell like hell.
That's right.
Because what's coming next, now is the time to voice your opinion and yell like you're out of your mind and talk about these things. Because once the censorship comes in and once they actually get what they want rolling, it's going to be too late.
Well, I'm gonna tell
now is the time to speak up.
Ray, I'm get ready to let you go here, but I'm gonna tell you this.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you this. They're waiting on the weather to break, and they're gonna come out with another full frontal assault. You just wait. They're waiting on the spring. They're gonna regroup, and they'll be out with their clubs and their protests and everything again. And what they're gonna do, they're gonna try to intimidate people into submission and they're shutting up and self-censoring themselves. We cannot let that happen. We cannot let that happen. I'm not going to let it happen because I'm telling you, hey, I will go out there and I'll be packing and you come up to me with a club or something thinking you're going to go ahead. Go ahead. I'll be like Clint Eastwood, make my day. I mean, I don't want to have to hurt you, but you're going about this the wrong way, son. The wrong way. You're gonna get yourself hurt running up on the wrong people. Because a lot of these people been living in their parents' basements. They haven't went through life. They don't understand nothing. They just been brainwashed.
Exactly, I agree. Fascists, they're the fascists.
Yeah.
Fascists.
Exactly.
How we the fascists when we try to censor our speech and what you don't agree with? We're the fascists?
Right.
What?
Well, it's like I said, everything they accuse you of, that's what they're doing. That's the way it works. That's the game. That's the game. So, you know it, and you got to be aware of it. But, hey, I'm going to try and let somebody else get a few comments in, Ray. But, hey, feel free to call back anytime. You know what? I just kind of threw this out here tonight because, we're having a storm tomorrow. I was supposed to have a broadcast tomorrow night, and I don't know, where they're talking, if we're going to have power or what. So I just threw it out there, but it's all good. I'm having fun, so.
All right. All right, man. Have a good night.
All right. Take care now.
All right, you too.
All right. Shout out to Ray. Nice spirited conversation there. I like that. If anybody else wants to call in, see, we had a couple of drop calls here. Let's see. The number to call is 812-205-2704. This is kind of like an open mic night. You can talk about whatever, ask me any questions you want, or it's kind of a free-for-all. Don't be afraid now.
Hello.
Hello. Did you call into the stream here a few minutes ago?
Not too long ago. I called in like the first person.
Oh, you did? Well, I'm sorry I missed you.
Well, no, you did talk to me. I'm Joe Mack.
Oh, you're Joe. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I saw some drop calls here. I didn't mean it.
All right. Well, no, I did want to call you again, but I didn't want to take up too much of your time.
Okay, but could you cut your speaker down in the background?
Oh, it's my wife.
Oh, okay.
All right. What you have just said is unbelievable. And you know what? You're so right on so many things. And I'm just glad I'm here. But I won't take up your time.
Right.
I'll let you talk to a few other people. I like other views. I'm open to them. Mm-hmm. And I'll talk to you next time you come up on air.
All right. Very good.
All right.
All right. Have a good evening.
All right. You too. God
All
bless.
right. All right. There's Mr. Joe Mack again. The lines are open, folks. If anybody want to put your 2 cents in, I'm sure some of you have something to say. As crazy as things are today, it is totally insane out there. All right. Once again, the number to call is 812-205-2704. While I'm waiting on the call, I guess I'll just throw my fruit sense on a couple of issues. One is this so-called Hollywood Me Too movement and all of this hypocrisy with all of these so-called stars coming out talking about, oh, how this and that and the women are being mistreated and all of this. And a bunch of these stars themselves have been participating in this stuff, just like Oprah and all the rest of them. They were buddy with old Weinstein and hanging tough with him and knew what was going on and even introducing him to young starlets. And it was all okay. No, but now that he's under the bus, they want to jump on him. Just a bunch of hypocrites. That's what they do. They're leftists. That's exactly what they do. They want to accuse everybody else of doing something that they're doing and participating in themselves. And that's all you got to look for, folks. It's when you hear them accusing people of doing things, all you got to do is just flip that around on them and you know what they're doing, because they want to get the other person on the defensive while they hide their own misdeeds. So as I sit here, I'm still waiting on somebody to give me a call. Somebody that's got nerve. Give me a call to make sure my system is holding up. It appears to be, but I won't know for sure unless somebody gives me a call. Now, come on now. This is America. Your freedom of speech is not gone yet. You better start exercising it like a muscle. Let's see, how long have we been going here? Don't really like this dead space. You guys are not helping me out. I understand it's not that many of you here tonight, but that's why I need even more participation. Let's not have this dead space. If you can't call in, give me something in the chat. You got a question or something you want me to answer. Am I still on the air? Can anybody still hear me? I know it says people are in the chat, but I don't see anything going on. I don't hear anything. Okay, then. Okay, wait a minute. Here's your sign. All right, you guys. Come on, give me some love. OTL don't like talking to myself. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick little break here, and then I'm going to come back in a couple of minutes and see if we can get this thing going back up. If not, then I guess we just go ahead and shut this down. Since it is a kind of a test stream, I would have liked to have had at least another couple of calls to really see how good my phone software is working, calling software. So Joe Mack. Okay. I appreciate that, Joe. All right. Well, I'm going to take a quick break, you guys. I'll be right back. Won't take but a couple of minutes. So I'll see you in a second here. Okay. I am back. Now, let's see what's going on here. You guys, give me a call. 812-205-2704. Let me know what's on your mind. Gave you guys a little bit of time to think about what you want to talk about. So now I am waiting on you. So please engage at your will. Let's see here. Again, if you'd like to call in and speak your piece, the number is 812-205-2704. Now, I tell you, I double dog dare you to call me. Now, how you like that? Okay. Well, all I can do is try. If I get some more people who are a little more interactive next time, but for now, I'd probably go another minute. If I don't get some type of call or something, I think we'll go ahead and shut this test stream down. But I do appreciate those of you who have called and participated in the chat. I'm willing to hang around here for a little longer, but if I don't have any participation, it's kind of, not good. You know what I mean? Unless you maybe want me to do some of my Bill Clinton impersonations or my Arnold Schwarzenegger. Come here, you little weenie. I'm going to pump you up. And I'm going to pump you up like you've never been pumped before. Or maybe you like Foghorn. Hey, boy. Pay attention when I'm talking. I said talking to you, boy. The boys got what they call mental complex. You see what you've brought me down to, what level you've made me. You guys, you got me crawling, I'm doing foghorn leghorn imitations, Oh boy, you guys are a hard act, boy. Come on, give me some love. I see you, Fresh. No, I can't do Mitch McConnell. I haven't worked on that one before. I just got to think it. I have been a guy that's I've had unlimited phone and text and data for so long that, you know, I just consider everybody else does. And so maybe some people not calling in because they're not on landlines and they don't want to use up their cell minutes. I never thought about that. I guess it's a possibility. Yeah, I see what you say about callers, but, you know, I'm thinking, hey, if I only have 5 callers, I figured at least 3 of them would have something they want to talk about. You know, I mean, man, these are crazy times with all the stuff that's going on. I can't believe that out of 5 people, you can't get 3 people who want to talk about it. I mean, when I'm out every day and out dealing with people and talking here or there at the coffee shop, everybody's got an opinion, it seems like, you know. That's why, you know, I kind of find it amazing. Maybe it's just because I'm from the Midwest and we're kind of outspoken around here or something, you know. Maybe you guys are more internal where you live at. Oh, by the way, Dr. Fresh, it's not swoop, it's swope. SWOPE, not SWOOP. Just for your information. There is somebody that happens to have a YouTube channel, though, named Terry Swoop. And that's not me. I'm Terry Swope, but I'm known as TL also. So let me throw something out here to you guys. You know, we got the Super Bowl coming up here. Give me your comments on how do you think that they're going to find a way to politicize the Super Bowl? Because you know it's coming. I can guarantee you they're going to find some kind of way to make a political statement during that Super Bowl. Okay, no takers on that. Okay, let's see here. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's going to be leftist leaning. It always is. The Puppy Bowl, huh? Well, you know, it's talking about disrespect to the country. I mean, that's it's amazing where that it's become fashionable to disrespect your country. You know, the same country that people are getting on homemade rafts and you know, going over shark infested waters from the Caribbean to get here just to have a chance, you know. And then you've got people sitting here complaining about how they're being oppressed while they run around with $200 tennis shoes on and a $600 iPhone in their back pocket and thousands of dollars of tattoos and hundreds of dollars of weaves in their hair and flat panel TVs at homes and refrigerators full of food, driving around in nice cars talking about how oppressed they are. Quite amazing to me. Quite amazing to me. And so many people want to come over here and be oppressed. Yep. Very funny. Well, once again, if anybody feels froggish, feel free. Give me a call, 812-205-2704. Come on, let me at least test this system out one more time this evening. Want someone to give me a little love. Hillbilly Swamp, get a job? Are you kidding me? Job? That's the new N word. That's the J word, man. What do you mean a job? Please. You don't need no stinking job. You don't need no job. We come here to this wonderful country. We come to America for the goodies and the freebies. You know, when we come here to partake. You know, I tell my friends back home, you know, hey, don't push, don't shove. There's plenty for everyone. We have no such goodies like this in Mexico. Ay, ay, ay. No, 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 no. But we have a heart of gratitude. We thank you for the free food stamps. We thank you for the free housing. We thank you for the education. Oh, yes. Thank you very much, gringos. Yeah, you probably can tell I'm not too much up on being politically correct. In fact, I got a little thing I got planned coming up here. It's going to be my cultural appropriation week, where I just kind of do some spoofs of blacks and Hispanics and Asians. And just keeping it real. I mean, it's just the way it is. This is America. You know, I mean, what is wrong with people? It is so sad. You know, people are getting where they're so nervous they can't even, they're scared to think. They are scared to think. That's how bad it's getting. I'm saying enough is enough. Stop this insanity. You know, just go back and look at some of the old shows I used to watch when I was coming up. All in the Family, you know, with Archie Bunker and Sanford and Son and all those old shows. They talked about fat people. They talked about poor people. They talked about blacks, Hispanics, you know, Red Fox, Sanford and Son. They had a next door Julio with his goat. You know, I mean, hey, nobody needed a safe space. Everybody just laughed. Yeah, Joe, thank you. I'll wear it like a badge of honor. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I heard about that on the radio, Hillbilly, about the Medicaid recipients applying for jobs. Very well. If you're able-bodied, you need a job. You know, start a business, get a job, do something. I mean, why do people think that all of us, you know, we work, go to work, sick, feeling bad, whatever, so we can take care of these bums that want to lay around and party all night and make babies, and they can go out to the club and shake it up and do everything, but they can't shake it up at some job. Yeah, it's and they want to be communists. And they think they're not going to work being communists. They're going to work. They're going to work for the state. Believe me. Communists and socialists, they get volunteer work. Believe me, they're gonna work. So why not work where you got a chance to get out there and make your own way? You know, you can sit out and set your goals and say, hey, I want to make $100,000 a year. I want to make $200,000 a year. You know, get the skills, do what you need to do, and do it. That's America. That's capitalism. That's what I love. But no, you know, they got, you know, here's one thing here. Let me get on this bandwagon. I was wondering, you know, I understand about the social engineering of black people against Trump and all of this, but I think I found another reason for them to hate him, because, you know, they've been groomed to sit back and get benefits and welfare checks, many of them in you know, in the inner cities. And so now, well, actually it started in the blacks, but now there's a nice sizable amount of white people and Hispanics. They look and say, wow, you know, man, that's a great deal. So they've all joined in. They got a coalition of the willing now. So all of them are sitting around, and Trump is bringing in these companies back, and these jobs are being created, and these jobs, even here, I can ride around town. I know of about 5 or 6 places right off the top of my mind. I can go where they have signs outside. They are hiring people. And people are not going in there to get jobs. They've gotten fat and lazy, sitting back getting these benefits, and are smoking pot and getting the munchies and eating big bags of Cheetos and drinking 2-liter pops, you know, watching cartoons all day. And so the last thing on their mind is a job. So they hate Trump for that, because now, you know, they're getting kicked off these programs and getting kicked off of food stamps and made to go to work, and which is a good thing. They need to do. The majority of us have to go to work, or we have to have a business or something. We're not just sitting around waiting on the government to take care of us. Now, I understand if you got a disability, or, you know, physical disability or mental disability or something like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally with that. You know, that's cool. But I'm talking about these bums that are milking the system. They get online, they get on Facebook. They know where you can get somebody to pay your utilities, where you can get somebody to pay your rent, where you can get, you know, this, that, other. They just know how to work the system. These people need to be cut off. They need a job. Thank you, President Trump. Keep up the good work. Get everybody to work. Like I said, black unemployment down 17-year low. Even Hispanic unemployment. Great. Let's get everybody back to work. Get them off these stamps, get them off these programs, wean them off of it, because they're like leeches just sitting there, just sucking on the host. They need a job. Maybe they appreciate bills and money once you have to start coming out of your own pocket. And that's the truth. And I stand by that, and I tell it to anybody. I don't care what they think. You know, I'm just tired of all the PC crap. I'm just saying it like it is. And I say it in the barbershop. I'll say it wherever. I don't care. I make people mad. So what? I get mad. Join the club. That's right. Make America great again. That's what I'm talking about. These same people don't want America great, but they want to sit back and suck on all the resources, though. If America wasn't great, you wouldn't have any resources to suck off of. Yeah. 5 across your lips. That's funny. Yes, sir. Well, you know, I'm just kind of like having a fireside chat here, and I'm kind of enjoying this. You guys just keep on commenting and say what's on your mind. Yep. Yeah, the younger crowd, the most of them, I won't say all of them, but the majority of them, they don't believe in work. They don't believe in, or if they do, they want to go straight to the top. They don't believe in working their way up or having to pay any dues. See, that's what happens when you're indoctrinated in school and you're told that nobody can get an F. Everybody passes. And if you have a contest, everybody gets a trophy. You get a trophy for participating. That is a great way to prepare somebody for the jungle of life. Just wonderful. And then they face reality and they can't deal with it. And the next thing you know, they're on some type of serotonin reuptake inhibitors like Dilaudid or one of the other mind altering drugs because they can't deal with life. And it's time we, stand up. We have to show these young people what things were like. I was talking the other day to some young people. They didn't even know what a payphone was. Never even know what a phone booth was. I'm talking about this guy was 24 years old and didn't even know what a phone booth was. So how in the world would they have any clue how things were back in the 60s, the 70s, when we still had a relative sanity in this country? When people still respected one another and tried to get along and had decency. They don't know. They were brought up under this Big Brother stuff. When we were coming up, we watched Father Knows Best and Andy Griffith, and we got taught lessons, life lessons. Son, don't do this. There's consequences, different things. Andy be talking to Opie. That's the type of stuff that we learn. These kids, they come up watching Big Brother where they teach you how to stab each other in the back and plot against one another to get over on each other. And then we wonder why we see what we see. If you plant turnips out in the field, don't be surprised when you look up and see turnips growing out of the ground. It's not rocket science. Oh, my God. Well, once again, if anybody wants to call in, the number to call is 812-205-2704. That if you want to still keep the chat going, that's great too. Either way, whatever you guys want to do. Yeah, you're right, Geraldo. Yep, same with me. I actually left home when I was 16, lied about my age, and I got a job. A friend of my brother's who was older than both of us, he worked at a vinegar distillery, and he put a word in with the foreman, and the guy knew my age, but the foreman didn't. And I got a job there, and me and my brother's friend, who was 5 years older than me, we had an apartment together. I left home when I was 16. Lottery tickets. Yeah. Yep. Total different world. I look at the 16-year-olds now, and I think about when I left home, I was buying groceries and cooking and paying rent at 16. And I look at some of these 16-year-olds now, they're like babies. They're not prepared, you know. They've dumbed everybody down and made them so weak that they couldn't handle it out there, you know. They couldn't handle it out there in life. And it's sad. But we got a job to do. This is about America. And if we don't stand up and speak out and let our voices be heard, it's way more of them. It's just that they have the media. But it's way, way more of us. And we've sat back and been quiet too long. Oh, yeah. College kids are like babies now, Geraldo. That's true. I was thinking about that the other day. Okay, for instance, let's see. Yeah. I still lived at home when I was 16. Yep. But worked at Mickey D. Yeah, but that's a start, though. At least you're learning responsibility and having to get up and go punch a clock and earn some money. That's a start. That's commendable. But back to Geraldo, what he said, when I was coming up in grade school, it was something that I heard when I was very young. It said, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me or hurt me. And I look at these grown people, 19, 20 plus years old, that hear a word and it's a microaggression and they get triggered and they have to run to a designated safe space and be coddled. That, my friend, is nothing less than mental illness. Mental illness. How did we go from being in grade school and told that words will never hurt you to being a full-grown individual that's freaking out when they hear a word that doesn't go with their programming? Yes, we are living in wild times, to say the least. It's going to get wilder. Now they're selling dolls, sex dolls, male sex dolls, women sex dolls, and they're buying them like hotcakes. Yeah, Geraldo, back when I was a kid, we had something called like a summer program, and I would work during the summer. And I would buy, you know, back then it was big on buying the albums and everything of your favorite groups. And I had started it was into music, and I played drums had a little band. And I bought all my jeans, all my clothes, all my sneakers, all my albums and all that stuff. And then I gave my mother money, which was kind of like a little miniature rent payment, if you will. And all the way up until I was 15, from 13 to 16, every summer I did that. By the way, I'm just checking. Has anybody tried to call in and not being able to get through for any reason? Oh yeah, Doom Jesus. Words are tantamount to violence. Yeah, that's what they say. That's exactly what they say. I heard that one guy on a video, he was being interviewed by, I believe it was Tucker Carlson. And this guy actually said that when you disagree with us, it is like a physical assault. And we should be able to address that physical assault in any way we deem necessary. And that was, mind blowing. I mean, this guy had nerve to say that. In fact, oh yeah, if you saw my one video, let's see, which one was it? About Trump derangement syndrome. That one picture in there had a screenshot of this professor with a real long neck. That was the guy who said that on a Tucker Carlson interview, that virtually that when you disagree, it's like you're assaulting them, and they should be able to do whatever it takes to stop you from assaulting them. So see, it's brainwashing. That's why you cannot get through to these people. That's why it doesn't matter what type of facts you present to them. Facts are irrelevant. They don't care about facts. All they know is talking points, and whatever you say, it's like they shut it out and they're going to keep repeating what they say. Racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic. You're a Nazi. That's it. They're programmed. They're bots. And you can thank your college professors for all that wonderful higher education that hopefully none of you guys are paying for your children. So yeah, that's where we are. What do you guys think is going to happen in 2018? I already told you what I think is going to happen. These guys are going to regroup. They're going to come out swinging, and they're going to be even worse than they were this past fall. Because Obama, George Soros, Hillary, Nancy Pelosi, Mad Maxine Waters, and all of them are going to keep stirring them up, talking about resist, resist, resist. And they'll be right back out there. And, these guys now, they're going out buying AR-15s, buying rifles and weapons. And what's scary is most of these people have never had any experience with these kind of weapons, unlike somebody's been in the military that knows how to respect it. So I can see some serious stuff blowing up here in the spring. It's going to get crazy because these people, they actually think that they're fighting Nazis. They truly believe it in their minds. Yeah, you're probably right about the blue and red pill there. That's for sure. It's kind of like once you know the truth, nobody can sway you once you know the truth. And that's what these people, they're devoid of the truth. They they don't want it. They don't want to hear it. It's all about, listen to what I have to say and join me. Even people that were involved in some of these groups like Black Lives Matter and some of the other ones, By Any Means Necessary. There's a bunch of splinter ones, but they all have the same mission. Some of these people who left them said as soon as they questioned anything, all of a sudden they became the enemy. They were not allowed to have an individual thought. It had to be lockstep with the group. Yeah. Maxine. They call her Aunt Maxine now. What an aunt. She living in a $4.3 million mansion outside of the district that she serves that's been in poverty for 30 plus years. But she's working for them. Y'all just keep giving me your vote. I'm fighting for you. It is amazing. Well, all right, guys. What does that mean, Joe Mack? Chat room is a rip. Did you hear me? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's other people watching, but they're not participating. I don't know what are they spies or me. I get conspiratorial sometimes. I'll get my tinfoil hat on. How's my volume out there? Is it still good, or is it a little too hot, too loud, or how's that? All right, once again, if anybody wants to call in, the number's there. That's why I paid for it. It's to let you guys call in and be able to speak your mind. Thank you. Thank you, Hillbilly. Thank you, Geraldo. Yeah, I'd really like for somebody to try to give me a call again. I just want to make sure that this line is still open, because it appears to be, but I right now I can't tell for sure without someone trying to call in and engage it. Oh, come on. You have something relevant to say. How can you not have something relevant to say? Just think about all the things you've heard and seen just the last few days. And I'm sure you've been on the internet looking at YouTube videos, and not counting what you've probably seen on television. How can you not have something relevant to say? I mean, it's virtually just a cornucopia of stuff to talk about. I mean, it's ridiculous what's going on. It's so much you can't even keep up with it all. I mean, you can go from talking about, oh yeah, here's one for you. You have all of these women complaining about, hashtag Me Too and being sexually assaulted and everything. But why are these women not saying anything about all of these women who are assaulting these young men in schools, in high schools, grade schools? I mean, just here in my town, just in the last, in the last 2 or 3 months, it's been 4 or 5 teachers. I mean, it is an epidemic. And what's so amazing is that when you have all of this stuff going on, and it's like they just kind of just gloss over it and let it go. And last time I tried to go into a school, you had to go through a door with a buzzer, metal detectors, all kinds of stuff, supposedly protecting the kids from, people who would come in and try to do something wrong. But they're locking the doors up, and you got the predators on the other side. They're sitting there molesting them in the showers, in the closets. The teachers are molesting them. Now, I mean, you can't make this stuff up, but nobody's talking about it. They're talking about all these Hollywood people and getting molested, when that's what they do. Everybody knows about the casting couch. That's nothing new. That's been going on for decades. Everybody knows about that. Everybody knows a lot of them starlets, they wouldn't have even gotten a chance if they hadn't laid on the casting couch. So it's all hypocrisy, but no one's talking about the teachers. I did a video about that too. And I Googled and showed just all the articles on all of these women teachers having sex with these young boys. Some of them married. One woman, her own husband was the coach of the football team, and she was having an affair with one of his students. Yeah, Geraldo, believe me, I understand that. It was, we had fantasy, but you know what? Most of my teachers were not that hot. Every now and then we had a substitute teacher came in that was good looking, but she was only there for a day or two, and then our little fantasy bubble was gone. But apparently these women got issues. And I found where one school, it was 4 or 5 different women teachers in the same school, and they were all having sex with these boys. Something's going on. I think these women are getting online and getting hooked on porn. And they're in there with these young men and they're fantasizing. And now these guys, it's happening so much, they're like probing the teachers now. You know they are. Because so many of them are doing it. So they're like, yeah, she seems to be extra friendly. I'll just kind of flirt with her and see what I get. But no one's talking about it. And how come? I mean, it's literally hundreds of women teachers having sex with students almost yearly now. And that's not even counting the men. Some of the men are having sex. In fact, a woman just got arrested here in my town yesterday. And she was having sex with another female student. And she was a friend of the student's mother. Actually, she had lived with the student's mother. And her mother saw a picture of her sticking her tongue in her daughter's mouth. Man, you just can't make this stuff up. Yep. But the problem is that no one seems to care. And it doesn't matter if you're a male teacher and messing with an underage female student, you're still a predator. They're taking advantage of these kids, their minds are young. They can be manipulated easy. They're an authority figure. And I don't understand why they're not tightening up their vetting processes, why they're not coming up with bills in the legislatures to increase their jail time before, to make them stop before they even think they want to get into school, being like a fox in the hen house. Yeah, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to teach, and I'm going to be in there with all them little young hotties. And I'm going to get me some. If they be looking at about 30 years, they might change their mind and figure out something else to do. Wow, I can't believe this. I've actually been streaming now for over 2 hours. Well, it's been good so far, though. It would be nice if I could get one more person just to call in, if it's not, but just for a minute or two, so I can make sure that this system is still up and running. Eight 812-205-2704. I'd like to take one more call. Yeah. The public school boards, the problem is people don't realize that the NEA is controlled by the UN. And right now, the UN, they're actually promoting pedophilia. That's how the homosexuals got the inroads they did. They went to the UN. The pedophiles are playing out of the same handbook. You can Google it. They actually went to the UN and did a presentation just like the homosexuals did. So the UN predicates a lot of the stuff that comes down through academia, through the universities and high schools. And then you see that reflected in the books and the literature and stuff that's used to teach. So that's why the NEA is they are not, all they're about is protecting the teachers and promoting whatever the UN would have them to indoctrinate our kids with. And in my humble opinion, it needs to be totally shut down or totally disconnected from the UN. Totally. Because it's just ridiculous. These are your tax dollars at work. They're teaching your kids not to kneel for the flag. They're teaching your kid to hate capitalism. There's Lisa Jean. Oh, well. Well, we've been going 2 hours and 10 minutes. I figure we might let it run about another 15 minutes and we'll go ahead and close the stream down. So it's 9:30 Central Time right now. I'm going to shut it down in about 15 minutes. If anybody wants to call in, you got 15 minutes to do it. And if for some reason you get a busy signal or you can't get in, let me know in the chat. And I may have to restart the program. I'm not sure. I just want to make sure that it's still up. It looks like it is, but I can't be for sure. Oh, yeah. Well, homosexuals adopting children. That's all what it's all about. It's about indoctrination. That's what it all is. They say that they're not after the kids. That's a lie. Why do you think that they wanted to get into Boy Scouts so bad? I always said that, hey, if you guys wanted to go scouting, why didn't you just start your Gay Scouts of America? And then y'all can have all your romps and all your sexual proclivities out in your tents you want. But no, they want to corrupt straight kids. They don't want have their own organization. See, these are the same people that says, don't force your religion on me. Don't force this on me. But then they're going to force their lifestyle on you. And first it was just tolerating. Now it's no longer tolerating. You're going to have to embrace it. Caller 215, you're on the air.
Yeah, I'm back again, pal. I'm going to stand by your side.
All right.
Hey, I put it on a chat. Somebody better call, or I will call again. We both have the same views, and I'm glad for that. And I have a lot of brothers that are all kinds of colors. So I will stand beside you, and we will walk together.
Amen.
And as our march goes on, we will conquer, or not conquer, but we will stand up for our rights.
Yeah.
But I just love watching your show tonight. And I didn't want you to stand out there looking for people to call you. And I decided I was going to call you again, but I didn't want to interfere with someone else calling. But I'm glad you're here, and I will be back again.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that because, see, like I said, I am testing out everything here. And this is good because I know the very first time I tried this, one time the software had stopped working and I didn't realize it. And I had to reboot it up. And I didn't know if that had happened again. And that's why I kept saying I wanted more people to call, because so far it's done great, because it's been 2+ hours and it's still up and it's still receiving calls. So it just must have been a bad glitch that one time. So, but I'm glad you called. So it gives me a little more confidence in it, as I go on using it.
Hey, I'm still here, and I still will be here next time you're on, pal.
All right.
May God bless you.
All right.
And have a good night.
God bless you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. That's what I wanted. A little feedback here. Okay, guys, we have about 10 more minutes left. If anybody wants to put their 2 cents in, the number to call is 812-205-2704. All right, Doom Jesus, I don't have any moderators or anything, but can we kind of clean it up a little bit? I try to be, I could say, hey, this is a family show. What is that? Can't call right there. Oh, ATM at the moment. Okay, Liza Jean, I got you. Yeah, Liza. When I told you that one time that the software it had kicked in, well, I went ahead and purchased that software, and the reason why it kicked in, it threw some distortion because it was a trial version. So I went ahead and purchased it. So I'm glad to hear that it sounds good out there, and that I'm not hearing any kind of interference, or you guys aren't. Oh yeah, when I say speak freely, I mean speak what's on your mind. I didn't mean turn it into the Jerry Springer show. You know what I'm saying? You can still get your point across without too much profane language. Yeah, Geraldo, I totally agree. And I've said this, socialism and communism is like a cancer. It has to be eradicated. You can't pussyfoot with it. You can't patty cake with, you can't play with it, because it's going to keep growing. And that's what this is. Socialism and communism is a cancer. And if you just let it go, it's going to eventually take over the host. And that's why their plan has been so insidious, because they've been working on this for decades. But Obama became the catalyst. During his 8 years, we saw more of this advance than any other time. And he brought all his leftist judges in, federal judges. He left all kind of landmines for Trump. So he had it worked out. He had everything laid out for him for his 8 years to pass all of his unconstitutional things. And these people were going to still be in place when he handed the baton over to Hillary. But that's where the wrench got thrown into the gears. Hillary was not supposed to lose. But in the event that she did, there were all of these landmines left for the Republican president who won, who happens to be Donald Trump. And that is the true story. If you ever get a chance to see the movie, which I bought, I think it was Joel, I can't remember his last name. He made the movie Dreams of My Real Father. It was a takeoff from Obama's book called Dreams of My Father. And he took 2 years and he went over to Indonesia to the madrasa, the Muslim school where Obama went to when his name was Barry Soetoro, where they put a statue out in the front yard but when he became the president of America. He went to Hawaii, to the house that he used to visit with his father, Frank Marshall Davis, who was a black communist. The communists recruit him. He had a newsletter. And they were using him to try to infiltrate the mainland of the United States. And he actually, excuse me, he actually funded his communist newsletter every month, but with pornography. And Obama's mother, there's pictures in that video of her with other women in their underwear with no bras on. And this guy looks just like Obama. He's got side-by-side pictures with their heads turned the same way. Looks just like him. Not that little black round-head guy that's supposed to have been the goat herder in Kenya. Excuse me, that's not Obama's dad. No way. But if you get that video, you will understand Obama and how his dad taught him to hate capitalism. They called it colonialism. To hate it. And that's why Obama did what he did. He didn't do it because he was stupid. He did it to destroy the economy of America so that they could take it over and turn it into a communist country. That's why he put all those regulations and everything to stifle business. He did all of that stuff on purpose. Yeah, Dinesh D'Souza. Yep. The books on Obama wasn't what landed him in jail. I think what landed him in jail was what he did with Hillary. So people got to understand Obama got his ideology from Saul Alinsky. Hillary Clinton actually met Saul Alinsky. I've got a PDF of a thesis that she wrote in 1971 on his book, Rules for Radicals. It's like 90 some pages. I found it on the internet and something said download it. And when I downloaded it, within a week, that website was gone. And I've still got that whole PDF. And she was breaking down his points. And that's where I got the stuff out how he said he would find minorities and then rub them raw and make them so mad and point them toward the government. That was part of his strategy. Another part of his strategy was Common Core. That's a totally socialistic, communistic concept. Common Core is, and it's being taught in our schools. So yeah, you gotta get the foundation laid. Once you know that, then you see why all of this stuff is happening and who's behind it. And Obama's is just as much involved in this stuff as he ever was. In fact, even more so now. He's pulling strings and doing the bidding of George Soros. They're all in it together. George Soros and his open borders society, no borders. But it's amazing that all these people that don't want any borders, they got big borders around their houses and their mansions. Excuse me. They have big, big fences and everything. Joe Mack, I'll take you up on that. You just saw that. Yeah, you gotta have some semblance, man. Without some type of rules and guidelines, you will have anarchy. So I don't mind people speaking their mind, and your traditional, damn, hell, your basic curse words, but once you start getting to a certain point, then everything goes berserk. And then you got Jerry Springer, and we don't want to get it to that point. Not only that, who knows? YouTube will be watching all of this too. Yeah, exactly. No borders, no country. That's true. Okay, well, it's almost 9:45. Joe Mack, how can I get hold of you later to set you up as a mod? Or if you want to just email me, you can email me at invertedrealitytv at outlook.com. Because I got to look into how you set that up. I think I'm going to need some type of email address or something to be able to do that. Or I'm going to have to be able to give you some type of code. I have to look into it. I saw it before, but I was kind of waiting until I had more people before I looked into it. But I guess it's good to at least have one even now. But if you want to email me, at that inverted reality TV at outlook.com. Yeah, you can call, but this number here is actually running through the show. It's not coming to me. If you email me, I can give you my cell phone number. But this here is not my cell phone number here. The calling number here, it's running through the software. See if I can put this in here. Okay. Well, very good. You guys, I want to thank you all for participating. I don't know. Probably won't do one tomorrow. I don't know, depending on the weather. If I do, it's going to be a very abbreviated, maybe an hour at the most. But if I do, I appreciate you guys coming in. As you know, my plans is like I said, to add some interaction. I want to add some little skits and various other things in where it's not just me talking and somebody else talking, little breaks of different things, so that it doesn't get monotonous or anything. I just want to do it a little different than other people have. Yeah, Hillbilly, thank you. I appreciate you. So again, it's been almost 2.5 hours, which, wow, I can't even believe it went that fast. But I think it's about time to sign off. So you guys take care of yourselves and stay out of trouble, and I'll be in contact. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you like it, go ahead and subscribe. And if you have, make sure you click on the bell, because you won't get the notifications. As I said, I got some plans for some things that I want to make it different, and I want to make it enjoyable. So you guys just bear with me a little bit, because a lot of this stuff I'm delving in is new, but I got some stuff I'm working on in the background, and the more I do it, the better it's going to get. So anyhow, you guys, thank you again. And hey, keep watching, and remember always, speak freely, my friends. This is your host, TL Swope, signing out. Good night, everybody.